Hello and welcome to the Billowing Hilltop podcast. Hello readers, apart from a reminder to rate and review and to contact us through social media or email us at hello@billowinghilltop.com. I have no news or information, so let us push on with episode 282 of the Billowing Hilltop podcast, The Final Countdown.
Too loud.
Paul.
It's too loud.
It's too loud. It's too loud. The phone's too loud.
Too loud.
Oh, the map's been enhanced.
The map has been enhanced. Good evening, everyone.
Oh,
Good evening.
Hello, readers. I'm sitting here with the usual crowd. With me, I have the great Dane, Graham, who will be sailing for Greenland at first light, I suspect. After
To defend Greenland.
Yeah. We've got Paul, who won't be sailing to Greenland because it's basically a BBC Micro wired up to a garbage compactor.
Oi.
was my electronics project.
It's a bit rude.
We've got little Lucas, who was bitten by a radioactive spider as a child, hence his spidery nature. And I have got the repulsive form of Johnny, who was bitten by a radioactive simpleton. What we don't have is Dan, who is roaming the Serengeti in pursuit of wildebeest and
you
a
mean he's
socialist
not at
utopia.
the World Economic Forum?
No, he's at the World Wildlife Fund. He gets the two mixed up. The last thing you want
He
is the
should have
king
been.
of the jungle, marauding his way through that kind of talking shop. Now, shall we pick up? Do you remember we started an email last time from the lovely KR43GN?
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of got a third of the way through. Should we dip into his email
go
again?
on.
What do you think? This is just terribly self-indulgent, readers. We're sorry. He likes the constant bickering over magic items that makes me think of the seagulls in Finding Nemo. He likes the party tank, brackets, so-called primary or frontline fighter, that wants to start the fight, but then initiates a 40-minute discussion on whether everyone else should use their magic to dimension door him out of harm's way because he got a one-hit point paper cut.
That must be Scaly, right?
I don't know who he's referring to there.
No.
That's
He's
scaly.
mystified by how such blatant metagamers haven't figured out legendary resistance rules after all this time. KR43GN, I know, I am baffled.
Well, we work it out and then we forget.
Yeah.
No, you don't work it out. He
No,
likes
mate.
all the Far Show, Blackadder, Hitchhikers, Dad's Army references. This is rather touchy. He can tell that we have been friends for a long time and he loves the camaraderie in jokes and jabs. Well, thanks, KR43GN. That's very kind of you. That basically is the essence of what we're doing here. He wants a copy of the Hesty Testapod song. Not going to happen.
Can't you release it on Spotify?
Release it on Spotify.
Oh, I don't know how I would do that. One day, maybe. He loves the reincarnate him chant. Same here. He enjoys the pre-episode vignettes. Vignette is a very grand term, where you discuss things like rule interpretation and our history in the game. Would you be willing to do a bonus episode? And this is stretching the definition of bonus to its very limit, where you all do an in-depth discussion of your D&D journeys.
Sort of the same.
There's that word.
Yeah, it's literally.
Yes.
The journey.
Yeah.
What's your journey?
As someone who only really came to and with 5e, despite longing to play since 2e AD&D was released, I'd be very interested to hear your stories. Having listened to your mid-episode 200 bonus, I would say that if you do Pathfinder 2, please do a beginner campaign and character creation live. Okay, well, it's not going to be live, but we'll do session 0. We will sit and run through the character builds for Pathfinder 2. As far as beginners campaigns is concerned, every campaign is a beginner campaign for us because we haven't got a Scooby. The only person who really understands Pathfinder 2 is Graham. So Graham is going to have to jump in constantly to correct us. What else have we got? He sort of has some stuff where he's telling us about things that we've got wrong. You know what? Let's save those little jewels for next time and move on to some sort of recap. Is somebody going to do the recap? I think somebody should do the recap and not me. I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to roll a d4 looking around the table. Lucas, would you be in a position to furnish us with a recap of last session?
I think I could just about manage. So last session, we were still dealing with getting all of the citizens who were holed up in a certain number of houses at the docks to safety.
Yeah,
3 houses, I think.
We basically, Buggy and Parker spent their time basically, and Scaly being a decoy by attacking the monsters, while Sessions and Burple went from house to house using Dimension Door and trying to persuade all of the citizens to step into a strange interdimensional library that didn't really work out very well.
Dan seemed absolutely baffled that this would be some sort of issue. No idea that you'd be hiding away from awful undeadness. And then the next thing, these total weirdos appear and shout at you for not jumping into their bag of holding. I mean, I think
come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted.
No, that's fine. And then right at the end, we sort of realised that in actual fact, we didn't need to get these creatures to the boat where there were still some monsters, but that we could just Dimension Door away to somewhere where we felt was safe, which we did. And then Buggy and myself just took off along the water, and we all met up back at the temple where we dropped off the citizens the previous time. And now we've been having a discussion about a long rest, which I believe has not really resolved itself yet.
Well, I think it's...
Because you wouldn't let us.
No, it wasn't that. We just left things before we processed the long rest.
Right. Okay.
We left things in a house that had been adopted by Hillary and their lizard folk troops.
Yeah, we went
as a
off
sort of
to
command
Hillary, yes.
post. The house is in a little street just off the Street of a Dozen Smiles, which runs between the Temple of Banshivu and the gladiatorial arena of Frostanger, which I think is a pale shadow of the gladiatorial arena in Evenstar. We are looking at the map of Frostanger that is spread over the kitchen table. Hillary and their lieutenants, there's Charles and Charles. They are moving little markers around the map as they understand the tactical situation to be. And so I have marked the map as such. You can see areas that are controlled by the forces of Kyuss and areas that are controlled by the little ragtag collection of good guys. The Temple of Banshivu I've marked with a hobgoblin marker.
Mm-hmm.
The area just to the south of the Street of the Dozen Smiles I've marked with a lizard folk marker. The area just through the gates on the Royal Island, or whatever it's called, where Zeech's Palace and all of that, that's marked with a giant marker. That is Colvan, or whatever he's called, Granite Bones, the stone giant Thane and his troops. Your connection with them is a Talabir, who turns out to be Granite Bones' envoy, agent, emissary, fixer, whatever. And then just inside the northern gate of Frostanger, you've got an area that is controlled by the Dragonborn. That is your bunch, Scaly, from the Mistmarsh, your tribe. Everywhere else is marked with horrible greeblies. We've got skeletal ghoul-type things.
So the green auras are the greeblies.
Green is greebly. Green is the Kyuss colour. And everything that is yellow is a good person. So you can see that the yellow areas are concentrated in the north and the centre of Frostanger. And everywhere else, pretty much, there are concentrations of horrible nastiness. You are looking out of the window of this house as Hillary draws your attention to the ziggurat of Kyuss, which is this great construction built by Zeech. It's a ziggurat with a giant spire that claws skyward to a roiling storm cloud crackling with green lightning above it. It's all a bit Ghostbusters. And Hillary tells you that they have spoken to Hesty-Testapod, and Hesty-Testapod believes that this is the time to strike. This is when Kyuss will be at his weakest as he tries to emerge from his monolith atop the tower. That's their understanding of what's about to happen.
Where is the tower on the map?
It's above the O of Frostanger.
Ah, that thing. Right, okay.
The massive green thing.
One other quick question. There is also... to the east of the giants, there was also another marker.
The Crimson Spot
Cocter. The Crimson Spot Cocter.
Ah, that's the Crimson Spot Cocter. Okay.
That is where you surfaced in order to ascend the cliffs to the boneyard in your journey towards where you disabled the Unlife Vortex machine. That whole sorry chapter of our adventure that I think we'd all rather forget. No, actually, it was quite fun. The fact that you did that and the fact that you have successfully rescued and publicly rescued sufficient citizenry to the point where you have 22 morale points accrued has led Hesty to believe that this is the moment. Hesty believes that Kyuss is going to be forced to try and emerge from his monolith. So you're being strongly encouraged, eyebrow wiggled, towards the ziggurat. And Hesty, of course, Aberranta and Lizintiel, the three wizards, the last remaining members of their order, They are, of course, concentrating on a great warding spell to hold at bay the numberless, nameless horrors that scrabble frantically at the barrier that they are sustaining. Those 3 brave wizards are all that stand between us and sure destruction. Giles and Charles here. Don't get the 2 mixed up, please. They can help direct you if you wish to travel by land, but I would imagine that one would be flying to the ziggurat. I will leave the details to you, and I must return, I'm afraid, to my troops and the battle raging in the streets. Right, that's all the notes I wrote down.
What time of day is it?
So we're a bit fucked after this. Let's say it's 3 in the morning, early hours of. It is weekday, the 3rd of Apeshit, the day of the conjunction.
The day of the conjunction.
Yes.
And the conjunction is of the meteorite thing that we...
Yeah, but you destroyed it. So that's another factor. Your understanding from Hesty is that all of Kyuss's plans have been targeted at this specific moment. And so you have weakened him thrisely by destroying and deflecting the orbital path of Katsujan.
Okay, so there's no other factors in the conjunction that...
Not that you know of.
Right. So this is the final battle, is it, after 5 years?
Well, it might be.
Time.
We can get into the detail of how you approach all of this.
Well, I'm currently approaching it with 8 hit points and bugger all spells.
So, should we have a long rest? I think we're all desperate, aren't we?
Oh, you wish to rest? Well, I suppose if it is the final confrontation.
Yes.
I can't say I blame you. The house is at your disposal. We'll try and keep the noise down.
Thank you.
But it is a bit fighty.
That's okay.
These ghastly Kyuss people do insist on making so much noise, moaning and wailing.
Scaly
will
will borrow some of Buggy's earwax.
Ew.
And just repurpose it.
The word borrow really makes that sentence revolting.
Yeah, I don't think I've got enough to spare.
You've got loads.
The idea that you hand it back at the end.
Yeah, he's going to have to reuse it.
I've got a few ideas about the final battle.
Go on then.
So I think this is going to be a bit like the 7 Samurai, the final battle. What's the Arisi Bear Claw symbol? Is it a big claw or something?
A claw or a clawed bear's paw.
Okay, well, I'm going to make a big banner and stick it Kurosawa type into the back of my armour.
Okay. I think before we rest... Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Says Graham, just rolling over Johnny's romantic notions.
Hang on, I haven't finished with the thing yet. I've got a bandana with the greasy bear claw.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Fine.
I'm going to get a fresh perm if there's time.
A fresh perm?
Yeah. Then I was thinking of, you got divine intervention.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Graham's been thinking about nothing other than divine intervention for about the last month. I can guarantee it. Because he knows he gets one go where it's definitely going to work.
Oh. Well, I was going to do divine intervention to protect me for 24 hours against Kyuss worms.
Okay.
Do you think that's the kind of thing I can...
Yes. I think that is exactly the kind of thing you can do. Can I be friend guide storyteller briefly?
Yeah.
Divine intervention, this is something that occurred to me a while ago, is left, and I think deliberately, slightly loose in terms of definitions and what you can do. What I would warn you against is asking for a deity to intervene in order to override the powers or effects of another deity, which is your understanding of Kyuss.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want any disappointments or heated discussions when somebody tries
more about
to...
just Kyuss worms.
Something like that, you feel you're in safe ground. But for example, calling upon the power of your god to destroy Kyuss instantly, you suspect is not going to work.
Thought that would work.
No, but just to make sure.
Sorry, I'm almost finished. Then the other thing is, I was going to reattune. I just wanted to ask you, reattune to the my weapon that does smoke.
Oh God!
The axe of the Grey Woodsman.
Could I attune to it and have the power of the smoke, but not hold the axe in my hand, so I can still go around with my Vorpal axe?
I'm kind of minded to say yes. If it says you must be wielding the axe, then no. If it doesn't say that, then yeah, you can have the axe to hand, and you can use it to trigger the power, and then you can wield a different weapon.
Once per long rest, as a bonus action, the axe creates a smoke up to 20-foot radius centered on the axe, moves with the axe. Duration 1 hour.
Fine.
Oh, God.
That sounds like you're good.
Oh, God, oh, God, oh, God.
Well, just thinking of it as an option.
Yeah. An option not to use.
And then the other thing was I was thinking of attuning to the Rod of Resurrection, so I got some more heals. But anyway, that's it for me. I was just...
All of that is short rest material.
Yeah.
So you can do that.
Okay, well, those are my thoughts about the final battle. That's it. So,
can I get some cigars? Are there any cigars available of my favourite brand?
Well, I think we'll say yes. This is all just window dressing.
Yeah.
Hillary they can ask either
Hillary will
Charles or Charles.
Charles.
Again, don't get the two mixed up.
Yes.
There's two completely different people. There's Giles.
Yeah, and
then
there's
there's
Charles. Yes, Giles and Charles.
There's Giles, and then there's Giles. Yeah.
Yes.
One of them could send a scout out.
There's a dragonkin not nearby.
Yeah,
isn't he?
send a runner.
Thank you. That's all I need.
Okay,
And some sleep.
who else have we got? Graham is itching to...
Come on, Graham.
No one seemed interested, so
I
I've
can see he's
I'm
sitting
now
there squirming in his seat.
right. So my suggestion is before we long rest, we do the Hero's Feast again, which I can cast from my remaining spell.
Wise.
Which of course is genius because it lasts 24 hours.
Yep.
Remind us.
Once you've spent an hour consuming the delicious meal,
Yeah.
Yum, yum.
up to 12 creatures can partake in the feast. A creature that partakes in the feast gains several benefits. Cured of all diseases and poison, becomes immune to poison and being frightened, makes wisdom saves at advantage, and its maximum hit points are increased by 2d10.
Fabulous.
Mm.
That's genius.
That is good.
And that's why you bring the big cleric.
The floaty one.
Well, small big
The
cleric.
floaty pontiff.
The floaty pontiff.
Oh, chompy.
So that's what I'm going to do
Chompy,
for
chompy.
everyone before we rest. I'm going to prepare the last
Right.
supper.
Okay.
It's mostly cheese.
Oh, my God.
I'll take Cheeseman out the bag.
Has somebody
He
got
can-
Dan's character sheet?
Can I roll the 2d10 then?
I've got Darren's character
I can't
sheet.
believe Dan's missing the final.
Can I
final
push
stuff.
the long rest
final-
button?
Long rest button?
Is it allowed?
Yeah. If you're committing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lucas.
Long.
On a jet plane.
What is Parker doing? You've got anything to contribute?
I'm going to press the long rest button.
That's it.
So 2d10 hit points, is it?
Well, unless you're going to tell me I had a vision or
Well, no,
something.
but
then-
oddly,
What else am I supposed to do?
Oh,
in
20!
the... Oh, wow.
Bloody hell.
What?
That's 40 equivalents.
40 equivalents.
Well, if I'm
All
raging.
right. 2d10. I'm going to roll about 3. 9. There you go. Under half.
2, 5, 9.
Ooh, 16.
Okay, I'll roll. I got 2 last time, so let's see if I get better.
So they've got the equivalent
Yeah.
of 518 hit points.
Yeah, but, it's hit point inflation.
Yeah, but
It's
no-
all relative. It's all grind. We've been having a discussion in between sessions, readers, about variants of D&D where you strip out the hit points and make a much more level playing field with hit points between different...
So
kind of-
Arding Grimoire suggestion.
Arden Grimoire is an ancient tome of advanced Dungeons and Dragons kind of side rules by a guy called Dave Hargreaves. Came out in the 80s?
Late 70s, I think.
I don't know about this whole hit point thing because not that I'm trying to prevaricate or delay the final conflict, but it's very difficult because so much is wired into hit point grind in
Yep.
all of these systems. I think you're right, Graham. It's very difficult to play around with the hit point system inside games like 5e and Pathfinder and stuff. Better to just pick something more
Or
basic.
something that's written in the sense that it's going to be more grim and gritty, If that's what you want to play, I would go with the game.
I was just thinking it might
Engine.
recreate the feeling of the first edition D&D, which felt more lethal with high-level characters like Tomb of Horrors and things
But
like that.
did it?
Yeah.
I just think there were no safety nets in first edition D&D. People still had huge numbers of hit points. 100, 200 hit points, something stupid. I've got my old character sheet folder in front of me. I could dig out one of those yellow AD&D character sheets.
Ooh, yeah.
But what I think made the difference was there was no death saves. None of that
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
There were no hero points or dice.
I
bottle
think
caps,
also
luck points, any
having
of that stuff.
points to assign to your attributes is probably not great. Everybody just maxes out on the obvious attributes. I think you should roll them and then assign the roles
Yeah, I think there's some
to
very
how you
interesting
want.
things that have been done in Pathfinder 2 around that. For example, rolling perception for initiative means that if you dump wisdom as a stat, you're really slow. There's lots of little touches in Pathfinder 2 balancing out those factors. The other thing is saving throws. There was like save versus death magic.
Yeah, I'm not too keen on those because they were a bit. It's just a dice roll.
Yeah,
No, but that's even more extreme. You roll once.
but
and
that's
you
what
die,
the
but
lethality was, though.
It's a combination. It's all those things. Yeah.
you could get something in between, so it's not quite as lethal with a one roll die, but you just have less hit points. So your 10th level character could go down a first level dungeon.
I think that it's back to what 10th level character really means. In D&D, it's a power thing, isn't it? The game is defined by power. So if you're 10th
Well,
level,
you're
you have...
powerful, but you're still got vulnerability in the hit points. I mean, you're going to hit hard. You're going to do
you
spells.
can do that
Go
without
up against creatures that are more able to do more damage in a go. I mean,
no, but you go down a
precisely.
first level dungeon where they wouldn't do so.
But then you can have a game where level doesn't mean the same thing.
Why would you want to do that?
You just say you can go down any dungeon because level's not the thing that defines it.
Yes, I think that's what I'm trying to say.
But the Dave Hargreaves point,
The Dave
the Ardid
Hargreaves
point, in terms of the fiction, was the idea that you could have the king and a foot soldier standing together on the wall defending the city. And they're both equally involved in the fight and the peril.
And also, don't
That-
forget that
fine,
Dave Hargreaves stuff is from a time when D&D just wasn't as far on as it is now. People who spent the last 20 years, or more than 20 years, thinking about how all those game mechanics should work together so that you don't have a sweet spot in levels and all those kind of things, so that you have mechanics that work throughout different levels or even new games.
Yeah,
That's why.
No, I agree. We're probably used to a more sophisticated game now, and actually picking up the first edition rules,
Sophisticated.
running a first level fighter. It's what do you do? Go and bash something with it.
Sophisticated.
Look,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. I mean, you could, you got a magic user does
I think
one
he's
spell.
engineered is a bit-
He's referring to the
Yeah.
books rather than with the way we play it.
Yeah, engineered. I think we play much more
Engineered.
engineered systems
and
with
I
a
do
lot
think
more
it's a bit
in them.
it's sort of slightly over engineered now.
We've had this discussion before about the hit point economy.
Yeah.
At a certain point, if you use bounded accuracy, your 2 hit rolls, your ability checks, your saving throws don't scale hugely as you go up levels.
Yeah.
Unlike, for
That
example,
is
Pathfinder.
good. I like that.
Right.
That
yeah.
works.
But what that leaves you in order to distinguish big threats from small threats is hit points. So what happens is that everything has just got hundreds of hit points.
Well,
It
that's
was
what I
after
mean.
the-
Maybe this is the hit point limitation is the other thing that stops this escalation.
But isn't it the thing that, Dave Hargreaves' idea was peril, and he expressed it in a language of the mechanics he had at the time. Whereas I would argue, if you want that kind of peril, so for instance, Alien, where you have stress points and things like that, where your dice rolling gets worse and worse. That's
What you don't get in D&D, I was thinking about this, is you never get the kind of
Chocolate.
the heroic death.
No.
The act of self-sacrifice, because the game isn't.
Don't speak too soon, Graham.
we might do, and I've been thinking a lot about this.
I know you have. Because you, unlike Lucas, have been paying attention to the visions that Lucas has been seeing and all of the portent stuff. Yeah.
But there's that kind of this group of people know that they're not all going to survive, but the point is someone has to survive in order to win. That's what happens in books, isn't it? Or films, the heroic, don't worry, we'll hold the bridge while you run, or
Yeah. Well, that isn't.
Or real life.
Maybe it's
happens
not
in-
necessarily us who need to survive.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have you thought of that?
Exactly.
I hadn't.
Yeah.
But
Is this enough of a vignette for you, by the way, KO43GN? You asked for us to chat around about. This is not deliberate. Trust
I
me,
quite
but,
like the idea this is the final battle and we might not all survive.
You may well not all survive.
I think we are reluctant to do house rules and play with this very complex machine that is D&D, but I think we could come up with house rules. I mean, I was thinking about this the other day. Like, if you get resurrected, I think you should be losing lots of constitution permanently. And if you're raised, then it's even more. Like 2d4 points of constitution permanently lost when you get a hit raise.
Wow.
Because
people wouldn't bother.
otherwise, you just feel like if you're going to die, someone's just going to bring you back again without any penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to chip away at everything that you suggest. Well, I do. I love doing that. But if you take 2d4 constitution of everybody that gets resurrected, their hit points are based off their constitution. And so are millions of other things. So you effectively make them...
You've
Yeah,
just
but-
died.
right, so in that-
there
yeah,
is a penalty to dying.
Yeah, so what you're saying is don't resurrect. You'd like to engineer into the system something which means if you die, you can't come back.
Well-
not effectively anyway.
Well, there's some people that say, I remember reading some guy's been running this dungeon for 30 years. He says he doesn't have resurrection in his game. Once you're dead, you're dead. But a less extreme thing than that would be where you're going to lose a lot of constitution.
But he has been sitting by himself for the last 29 of those 30
Yeah, he
years,
has.
Johnny.
He's pretty shit DM
Because
as
all
well,
of his
apparently.
players died. Yeah. We used to have a system whereby you had to roll under your constitution to successfully be resurrected. And you
Oh,
lost a point
yeah.
of constitution
That's-
every time you were.
Yeah.
so that dropped
Well, 1
each time,
point's
so you
not
became
really
less
gonna
and
do it,
less
is it?
resurrectable. Well, it made a bit of a difference. We used to have that, and then
Not
there was obviously
really.
resurrection survival chance, which was
Yep.
based off something. I can't
That
remember how
was
worked.
a bit more lethal, yeah, because your resurrection
Yeah.
survival chance would go down as your constitution went down. But I think 1 point is not enough. You know,
I
if
don't-
you're losing a big chunk of your constitution on a resurrection.
We've only resurrected one person in this entire campaign, by the way.
Yeah.
So far as I can remember.
Only one.
Burple.
Yep.
In the Katzenjammer encounter, and that's it. 6 years.
Well, the early deaths were when we're too low level to do anything. Right?
Exactly, you don't bother. Readers, we are going to get to this climactic final combat, but
Well, we need Dan, don't we?
no, God, we don't need Dan. He'll
For the
Someone will
final
roll
roll.
2d10 for Dan's hit points.
Yeah,
Well-
shall I roll it for you?
It's not.
Yeah, why not?
It's not all
Why
going
not?
to be over at the end of this.
Give me something to do.
Hour, is it?
Oh, 10. Yeah, right in the middle.
Extra hit points for Dan, if you write them down, please. Now, while we're on this, since it popped up as a thought earlier, Visions and Parker. I don't want to put my thumb on the scale or over friend guide storytell.
Don't give the clue away.
It's not a clue. Or rather, you've already been given the clue. I just think it's worth refreshing your memory that Parker saw a series of 4 visions in the Rotunda of Mirrors in the Temple
Yes.
of Banshivu.
You're going to tell them again.
Not in detail. 2 of them reflected upon prophecies that you had been told had to be fulfilled before the Age of Worms could begin. And your
Yeah.
sense was that both of those prophecies had been fulfilled.
Come
One
true,
was
yeah.
that a tripartite spirit must be made one.
Yeah.
It looked like that was the reconstitution of Rabadabadas from his 3 constituent parts.
The rub-a-dub-dub.
Oh, you know him.
No.
No.
Oh. And then
Well, we do.
the other
now,
prophecy
but anyway.
was that a hero of dread shall give his city to the dead, or something along those lines. And your sense is that that references Zeech.
Zeech, yeah.
You saw Zeech's palace overrun.
What were the other 2?
Well, the other 2,
Visions,
okay, so
yeah.
now we'll put one to one side. You saw something involving a shadowy figure bubbling up Calamanthus in a drug kettle. God knows what that refers to. The final vision was that of Kyuss himself atop a great spire or pinnacle. I think you're kind of getting the sense that this is the most relevant bit. Recoiling in fear, you presume, from a tripartite floating figure approaching him with a black hand outstretched. It's going to let that vision
Give me
settle
the
in your
hand.
minds.
I want the hand.
Tripartite figure. Well, that's not Dalquethos.
A tripartite figure is something that's trisymmetrical. The aspect of the Ebon Triad that you fought, the thing that killed Alessandra in the chambers beneath the plague house outside Frostanger, was something that was part Banshivu, part Asmodee, part Grey Woodsman, and was a sort of 3-part trisymmetrical figure. So that had a black clawed hand that very strongly resembled, and you understood this at the time, the hand of Veshna, and actually seemed to be able to project it as a sort of spectral thing. That was the thing that did for Alessandra. But it wasn't the figure that you encountered in those chambers. It's something similar, but something smaller and more floaty.
More and
Do
more
I need to draw
floaty.
you a picture?
Confused.
Are you?
Smaller and more floaty. That sounds very Sessions to me.
I think it sounds very Sessions to me.
Ooh,
Well, you've
So-
got aspects of the Grey Woodsman with the
Yeah.
fog-lamp eyes. Have you got any aspects of Asmodee and Banshivu? The big teeth, is that Banshivu?
I've got aspects of misfortune.
Where did you get the big teeth from?
That was the final aspect that I've taken on.
From...
Good question.
You can't... I can't remember.
Quite recently.
But this has always been the problem. We don't have this information. You know, it's like you can't go back and read the book.
I think the chompy teeth
Well,
are
look at
something
all
to
the
do with
pictures we have.
Banshivu, isn't it? Which means we're left with Asmodee. What was Asmodee aspect?
But I don't have a floaty black hand, so...
You know that meme with the guy with all the pictures on the wall and all the red lines, and he's standing there with the pen? We haven't got that. We need that.
We're just pawns that have been manipulated.
Yes.
Almost certainly.
By the way, not having Dan here, we're missing some input. It's quite nice to actually have Paul here and have him not say a single word for something like 45 minutes.
I'm quite enjoying
Have
it.
you fallen asleep?
No, he's back.
No, I'm here.
No, he's-
it's listening to the masters of chat.
He's opinion free. Oh, I thought you'd be chipping in about Shadow Dark, Paul, when we were talking
Yeah,
about...
I was thinking about that, about the kind of going back to old school lethality and how it changes the whole thing. And having spent quite a lot of time recently looking at it, it is lethal. But the whole attitude changes when your characters do die on a regular basis. So it's how the whole play changes when you don't expect to survive.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to doing Shadow Dark because I'm looking forward to bringing in those elements that I think Johnny's looking for. Much darker, much more lethal. Everything's a bit grey and a bit bleak, and it's always raining. I suppose it's a bit like, that scene, Blade Runner kind of, it's continuously raining.
Cumbria, the role-playing game, is what you're talking about.
It's North Wales. But it's how you then... Because if you think about what we've got here, I'm not bothered about, as you know, I would happily swap out characters.
Well, you've got to clear what's going on, have you?
No, I'd happily swap out characters on a regular basis because I enjoy playing different types of characters and things like that, where most of the characters have been start to finish. Well, hopefully start to finish. That's not going to happen. How does that change your gameplay? And actually, for me, the kind of challenge is, if you're all dying, how do we keep consistency going in the story?
You mean with an ever-rotating cast of main characters?
Yeah.
That is a big challenge.
Yeah. I quite like him, the Sly Flourish guy. Michael, what's his name? And he comes up with some good kind of solutions to it. Again, we're not big into storytelling, but I think you've got to have something. Otherwise, you're playing chess.
Storytelling is an annoying word. It's been hijacked by brands.
Yeah.
With our orange juice, really, it's all about storytelling. It's just like, oh, fuck off.
No, absolutely fuck off with that lot.
Yeah, you're right.
There's emergent story, and then there's what we're doing with Age of Worms, which is that somebody has worked out a story framework and you play through it. And you make your own decisions, and we've added in all sorts of other elements and things to try
One of
and...
the readers was put it quite well, is that he liked listening to it because he didn't know what was going to happen next, and we didn't know either, whether we were going to live or not. So it's like an unwritten story. You could die any minute.
I think we go beyond
but it
that,
sits in a framework.
Yeah,
we go beyond that
framework, but
not only do we not know what's happening next, we have no idea what's just happened.
Yes, makes it even worse.
And I don't know what's going on either. No clue. I mean, I have no idea what's going to happen in this combat. Kyuss could turn out to be a squirrel with a sharpened spoon. We'll find out in a minute.
Let's hope.
On that thought, we should do stuff.
Yeah, we've been delaying this for quite a while. Actually, I got to go.
What do you want to do? You've had your long rest.
Yeah.
It is 11's
I'm going to reattune.
on,
by the way,
weekday well, you can do all of that as part of the part of the
I'm
rest.
just telling you now.
Right?
I'm reattuning to the sword, and that's it.
Okay, I'm going to cast Death Ward just before we leave.
Death Ward, the beginning of the day when I wake up in the morning, and then close to the combat, I'm going to do freedom of movement.
I want to know one thing about Buggy after all these years.
He is a hobbit, he's not a dwarf.
Yeah, no, it's not that. I just want to know, what's his morning routine?
What do you mean?
Well, he casts Death Ward.
Well, I mean, apart from that, does he,
He likes a few croissants.
Yeah,
I don't know. What do you mean?
He gets up,
Brushes the crumbs off the duvet.
do you have an extra 10 minutes in bed?
Well, he takes his teeth out of the glass, puts them in.
Yeah. Does he then have a little kind of mantra? I am a cleric. I am a cleric.
He's got one of those
I am a cleric.
old school alarm clocks with the two bells on top. He's got a sticky note with his name written on it, just in case he's forgotten.
Is it the turning the underwear inside out and then back to front?
I used
Almost
to do
certainly.
that when I was backpacking.
Yeah, we know. That's
Thanks
right.
for sharing.
Is backpacking
Sorry,
a
what?
euphemism?
That's
Or
what-
is that something you actually did?
No, I did that when I was backpacking in my 20s. I used to wear my pants for a few days and then turn them inside out.
Okay.
for another few
Sounds
days.
disgusting.
Let's edit that
Okay,
out.
but I
That's
think
what you
we've
have
got the
to do
general
when
idea
you're
of the
backpacking.
morning routine. Anybody else doing anything else to get
No.
yourselves prepped before
He's
we get
getting
into
ready.
this?
He's having a
Okay.
cigar and a coffee.
Are you walking or are you flying? I'll give
Well,
you a
I'm
quick
flying.
strategic update.
We can't walk.
The
otherwise we're gonna get
Dragonkin have
fight.
pushed down the way of the Queen Marshal and are pushing back the forces of Kyuss towards the lighthouse down Dallow Way. Now, the sniper seems to have vamoosed. The hobgoblins are pushing west down the Street of a Dozen Smiles and pushing back the forces of Kyuss towards the northwestern quadrant of the city. The giants have had some kind of internecine row. Some of them are pushing southeast towards the docks where you just had your encounter, fighting the forces of Kyuss. But another cohort of them have decided that, All of this fighting the forces of evil business is for the birds. And what's really interesting is looting the royal palace, drinking the wine, and killing all of the undead that are running riot within. Hillary is looking a little perplexed. The sort of fragmentation of the offensive is giving them pause for thought. And so they are ever more keen for you to strike at the very heart of the problem.
We're going to go to the ziggurat.
Can we get the spot coctor there?
You most certainly can.
We could, but isn't it just quicker just to get there?
Well, I can't fly.
This thing is very tall. How are you going to approach this issue?
Do we fly to it, or do we just walk?
No, we don't want to walk through the street, so we're just fighting our way there.
Mm.
I mean, according to the map, there is basically a front line, which is where the island with the tollway, the forest bridge, by the look of it.
You can get to that point, but then you still need to cross over, or you could go via the Street of a Dozen Smiles, the big thoroughfare that the sniper was pinning people down on, and you could get to the arena, but then you'd need to strike south towards the ziggurat that way through hostile territory.
Controlled by greenies.
Get the spot coctor.
Where would we land?
Well, land next to the ziggurat.
Literally land next to the ziggurat.
Except there's cliffs.
Are there?
Yeah.
There are cliffs. Oh, the bottom line with the ziggurat is you're either going to fly or you're going to take the stairs. The ziggurat base is like something from Tenochtitlan or whatever. So you're talking about something that's probably like 100 feet high, maybe taller, made out of staged layers. And then you have a spire built on top of it, which might be, another 14, 15 stories, hundreds of feet
high. I can run up it in one round, even at half movement.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, we can get to that.
Same.
It's about 17 stories.
Will I move 130 foot in one move action?
I think each story is 100 feet high.
Oh.
All I'm really trying to establish is how are you approaching this? Are you going to approach the ziggurat from the base? You're going to try and work your way up? Or
I think we could spot
try and fly
and then fly?
Yeah, because otherwise you'll get these big flying beasts who attack us on the way there.
We could actually dot where it says the Angry Rifter around there, the southeast part of the tollway, because there's lots of docking points there, and then we could literally fly across to the ziggurat.
I'm going to say that
the Angry
Hillary
Rifter,
can, via Hesty, contact Bondi. And during the course of the last hour or so of your long rest, Bondi can be directed to rendezvous with you. Where would you like to be picked up? You're currently in the hex that's marked with the lizard folk icon. Well, so if you would like Bondi to pick you up there,
and then she can take us to here.
Fine.
To where the bridge is.
Let's do that. Well, that's the bridge I think that she picked up Scaly at when Scaly needed exfiltrating from Frostanger when he was infested by the Kyuss parasite. There's a troll that lives under that bridge, but it's not doing very much. It's kind of hiding from the bad people.
He lives in a hole?
You surface in the spot coctor a mere, let me just measure this on the map, 300 yards from the ziggurat itself. The spire towers over you. Above it is a rolling cyclone of storm cloud, lit from within by the occasional flash of, you presume, lightning or whatever. It's all very Ghostbusters and gothic. Every now and again, green lightning stabs down from the clouds, striking at green obelisks that bristle from the spire and its tip. There was once a dark kind of twister of negative energy, if you recall, that spiraled down, gently brushed the tip of the shaft. Well, that's gone now. You presume that's because you have disabled the unlife vortex. There are corpulent forms flapping demoniacally around the tower, trailing comet-like tails of green mist. Your guess is that they must be the same as those green, flappy creatures that you were dealing with at the docks. What would you like to do?
I genuinely think we've had enough. Now's the time just to go home.
Yeah, this could be done.
It's been a long few years.
Weeks, not years.
And just tired.
It's not the worst idea. You'd probably get, a solid month, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Living in denial, hanging out.
Yeah.
Smoking cigars, drinking decent claret.
Yeah.
Obviously, there would be an endless age of despair, worms, and corruption. But, that's not
really your problem, is it? Someone else's.
Yeah, it's a while away.
We've done our best.
Or
we go and, all right.
What do you want to do?
Let's go for it. First question is, do we go up or do we go from the ground floor? I think we go up. Otherwise, we're just fighting our way up anyway.
Well, it sounds like we're going to fight either way because the things floating around outside it, aren't there?
Mm-hmm.
Not hordes. We're talking about a handful or so. I think I named that creature as a brood fiend.
Oh, yes.
Your presumption is, from everything that Hestia said, and also from your experience of Kulith Ma, the ziggurat in the lands that wait, is that at the top, probably this obelisk has been placed. The obelisk that contains the trapped figure of Kyuss.
Should we take a vote?
One option we could do is, and because he's not here, he can't object,
Yes.
we could
Excellent.
teleport to the top.
Teleport.
Burple could teleport us to the top if we so wished.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have to fight our way up to the top, where we might burn a lot more spells.
That sounds good to me.
I'm up for it.
It's a good use of the spell.
Okay, let me put you on a new map. Readers, I will post this map in social media.
Oh, I see. First floor, second floor, third floor, fourth
You're
floor, fifth to
reading
16th floor.
top to bottom, left to right. You have the ground floor.
Yeah.
There are 4 entrances at the 4 cardinal points with flights of stairs leading up, and then mystery within. Above that, you've got a smaller floor, as you would expect with a ziggurat. Above that, a still smaller floor. All of these floors are independently accessible. If you're flying, you can bypass. And moving over to the column on our right, we have a yet smaller floor, but that is the base of the spire itself. Then you have 17 stories of spire. Each has got a series of balconies protruding from it with these green obelisks that are occasionally sparked at by lightning flashes from the roiling cloud of necro storm above. And then in the final part of our map, bottom right, we have floor 17 of the Nakatomi Tower with 11 or 12 individual balconies protruding, each with a green obelisk. That is what you can see from the ground floor.
We have a choice.
And what's in the black?
That's
So
we don't know.
Where the black circle with the 17?
That's the entire point, Lucas.
Right.
The
that's
obscured areas represent the inside of the ziggurat that you cannot see or know yet. If you tell me that you're flying level with the very top of the ziggurat, I will reveal what is inside that hidden area.
understood.
I think that we've got a choice here. If we start at first floor and we do it square by square, we could go on for another 5 years, and I would get a chance to finish my Shadow Dark campaign.
Buggy is at least 60.
Yep.
He might die of old age at about floor 12.
Yep. Or we go in at floor 17. And all of the work that Mike has put in between floor 1 to 16 doesn't happen.
Zero work, readers.
Can I make my roll for divine intervention?
How do you know that what we need to find isn't on level 8?
There's a chance I'm happy to take. You can always go down.
Yes, of course you can make your roll for divine intervention. Your 19th level?
13% chance.
Oh, 13th level cleric, of course. Really a pale shadow of a cleric, yeah.
All right, okay. 13% chance, and I'm
Surprised Graham's not jumping in and needling. He's too busy
Come on,
painting
altar
figures.
boy.
Yeah, go on.
I'm praying for immunity
Protection
to
against Kyuss worms.
Kyuss worms
Yeah.
for 24 hours. I think that's a reasonable
Mhm.
request.
Well, you've got a 13%
It is
chance.
reasonable.
13% chance. Here we
So
go.
you're going to not psych the dice up.
Maybe I should make this roll.
Should I?
Yeah. I think you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, that'd be quite interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I think you should roll. I think you should roll, Johnny. I think you know whether or not Erisi Bearclaw answers your call.
Greasy bear claw.
Don't call him that. That's going to make it 12%.
Oh, yeah, he only
I've done
fucking
it.
did it.
Oh
He only
my
fucking did
I've
it.
fucking done it
Bollocks.
on a 6.
Oh my holy bollocks. You've actually done it.
That is
You hear
the
a
most incredible
reassuring
thing.
growl in your mind, Uncle Buggy.
Thank you.
That tells you that
Greasy
Erisi Bearclaw, in your great
call me
moment
greasy.
of destiny, has granted you that boon.
That's absolutely fabulous.
At last.
It was the shock.
Right.
So I've got me
There we go.
bandana, I've got me flag stuck into the back
Yes,
of my armour. It's the final
no.
battle.
What else? Anybody else?
I do my freedom of movement now.
Let's teleport.
Yeah.
We happy to
Let's
explain
teleport
that, Stan?
I can't remember how teleport
To-
works. You could nominate a spot, but you either got to be
That you
familiar.
can see within range, or a single object that you can see within distance must be known to you, or it must be on the same plane of existence. Familiarity with the destination. Oh, there's a percentage here. Hang on.
If Burple could see where you were teleporting to, that would make a difference. But then you'd need to be flying, which is the whole problem.
Well, we can see one of the jutting things sticking out, can't we?
Yes, you can see the jutting balconies with the
teleport
green
onto one of
obelisks.
those.
They're not big, but guesstimating the scale, you think you'd be all right?
Is it obvious how you get from levels 5 to 16?
You might presume there may be a staircase of some sort.
So these 4, whatever they're called,
Readers, this map
balconies,
is not
terraces that are jutting
communicating
out,
itself very well in audio. Yep.
do they rotate as the levels go up, or are they all on top of each other? Could you basically climb from on the outside of these plinths?
You could run up the walls.
I mean,
Parker.
I can run up the walls, yes, but what about the
Climbing,
others?
it's hundreds and hundreds of feet. It would be
Right.
like trying to climb a hotel from balcony to balcony. Yes, it could be
Right.
done, but it would take a very long time.
So what are we doing? Teleporting or someone flying us up?
Surely you've seen the top of the spire at Kulith Mar. You can see the actual spire that you are regarding now. You understand where you're going. I think Burple can pick a point that he can identify clearly visually, not the middle of the top of the spire because he can't see it, and he can teleport you all there. Is that what you would like
Yes.
to do?
Sure.
Okay. Burple mutters the incantation. He identifies one of the protruding balconies at the very top of this spire, and you vanish and reappear ready for your final confrontation with the emergent worm god Kyuss. Are you up to the challenge?
No.
Can you survive?
No.
Can you end the age of worms?
Yes.
No.
Has all this chat about lethal rule systems and stuff going to come around and bite you
No.
squarely on the arse? Well,
Yes.
we're not going to find out now.
No.
We're going to find out if you can face down Kyuss in the final confrontation of our 6.5 year campaign. Let me pick this
6.5
up
years.
next week.
Yeah.
The Billowing Hilltop podcast is a Billowing Hilltop production. Dungeons & Dragons is a trademark of Wizards of the Coast. Dawn of a New Age and Age of Worms are copyright Wizards of the Coast. Dawn of a New Age was written by Tito Lietti. Music is from Kevin MacLeod and Incompetech.com and is used with thanks under the Creative Commons license. Additional music and sound effects come from the wonderful Sirenscape. All other original material is copyright Billowing Hilltop. Role-playing games are all about getting people together, and we use Roll20 as our tabletop, the perfect place to host your game, and Discord to host our chat. Thanks for listening!